All right, good morning. Good morning. If you just came in, I've asked everybody to go to Canvas and look at the first unit while I check on how many people missed the test yesterday. All right, so we're in review mode. The next Thursday, so we have this class and two more classes to review the unit to prepare for. So we have Jonathan. Oh, okay. All right, we're good. Just two people. All right, I am working on today I'm going to be sending out letters to parents. So if you want to fix your grade, you need to fix it before I send out letters today. Those of you, majority of you, bless you. You are doing very well. There's just a handful of people who need to spend a moment catching up on some things. Again, I would prefer you do a late assignment as opposed to keeping a zero. It'll still be graded late, but it won't be a zero. So please make sure you get that done before exams, because after exams, there's no new work, nothing graded except the exam. Okay. All right. That being said, still waiting on a few people. All right. So I don't have a paper study guide for you, but what I would like for you to do is to use, and I'm going to share my screen in a minute. Okay, let me do this from student view. Okay. All right, so I do want you to start from here. Um, Introduction to Forensic Science. And I want you to make note of essential questions. Okay? So I'll give you a few minutes to jot these things down because that's what I'm going to make the test from, the essential questions. So what I need you to look at, and I'm trying not to go too far, so there's somebody to come in and say, what are we doing? People are still coming. All right, so we want to start with how have science discoveries influenced the development of forensics as it applies to the law? So we want to, and what is the different specialties and techniques used in a crime lab to process evidence and report findings? And what are the responsibilities of the forensics crime lab and forensic scientists? That's a mouthful in itself. So take a few minutes to see if you have an answer to these questions. Okay. Just work on these three questions today. I'm not, I'm not, I'll tell you, I'm not so much interested in all of these lovely scientists. You do need to know this One person that needs to take the test is here. Okay. It's, Locard's exchange principle, you need to know that. The Fry standard, the DuPont ruling, and forensic entomology. Uh, oh, both people. Okay. All right. So focus on this first page right here, and in regards to these three questions. And I'm going to stop sharing for a minute because I need to get two people to take the test. Alrighty. Jonathan and Nevaeh, you were absent yesterday and we took a test, so I need you to do that today. I'm going to put a code in the chat for you. All right, let me go to the home page first, show you where it is, because it's not in the module. It's this one. Okay, so you require, I'm going to give you, so that's what you're looking for. And I'm going to put the code in the chat right now for you. And it was, okay, there you go. All right, so Jonathan and Nevaeh, please take that code that I just put in the chat and work on this test, please. And as far as I can see, you're the only two. Thank you. All right, so Jonathan, you got that? All right, so again, for everybody else, you want to, whoops, can't do that in student mode. Okay. I know this I see your comment. Okay, so everybody else is working on making sure that you can answer these three questions. Again, no, be able to define forensic science, but don't worry about these scientists. Start from number 8, go down, and make sure that you understand that, but make sure that you can answer these three questions up at the top. So you can work on that today. If you owe me anything, work on that for sure. That's where I want you to start today. So again, we are preparing for a final exam. That is on, for you, it's on the 12th, which is next Thursday. So you have first period and fifth period next week. You have second and sixth on Friday of next week. So there'll be no new work between now and then. Just make sure that you go back and prepare what is already there. We are going to go to, if you want to get ahead of that, Um, Again, if you go to the next unit, crime scene investigations, again, the first four questions, the essential questions, those are the questions I need answered um, for the test. And so you can go back and review the different types of grids. So we did some activities on grid search and parallel search. So look at the activities that we've done as well. There won't be as many questions on the entomology because we just did that and I thought that was a very thorough test. And most of you did very, very well. So kudos to you all. Great job. And again, uh, microscopes. Uh, there'll only be a couple of questions on microscopes, but just as far as how useful they are. You're not going to have to know the parts of the microscope or anything, just as far as how is a microscope used in science investigation. So don't worry about all of this parts of the microscope stuff. So that's mostly the vocabulary on this section. So this is um yeah, this question 4. Why are microscopes important for forensic science? So that's all you need to know from that module. Uh, we've done a lot this semester in a short period of time. I believe you have a chart for determining when looking at the skeleton. So make sure that you know all of those characteristics. And you all did that if my bones could talk. So knowing how to tell the age, the sex, know those things as far as the skeleton is concerned. The role of the medical examiner, know that. Um, this process right here, human remains. There's a chart for that too. Okay, and there's 4 questions there. So yes, you do need to know these vocabulary, all the mortis vocabulary. Know that. Know things like PMI and TOD. Okay. All right. So again, I don't have a, a written study guide for you to do. The study guide is to make sure that you can answer the essential questions in each of the modules up to entomology. Don't worry about entomology so much. I might have one question about that because we just took that test. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time with that, but I will go back through the others. Again, one question on microscopes. This is an important section. 25 questions, multiple choice. Okay. And if you have any questions, ask. If there's a topic you didn't understand, ask. This is the time. All right, so again, start at the beginning. Everybody should be working on at least trying to define those first four questions. 'Cause that was done a long time ago. So I shouldn't see any inactive screens. We do have exams coming up. Caitlin, are you with us? Evelyn, I thought you were in. You are. Why does it say student is offline? Evelyn, is your computer working okay? I almost marked you absent, except I remembered you had signed in. For some reason, it's not registering in GoGuardian. Let me see everybody's. I need to check both places, I guess. Okay, thank you, Emily. And folks, if y'all are having computer issues, please let me know because I do attendance by looking at blank spaces on GoGuardian. So if it says student is offline, that usually means you haven't logged in. So, but I happen to remember your name logging in. So I don't want to mark you absent and you're actually here. It's a big class. All right, and the same thing goes for logging in and then being idle. I think you're idle and then you think you're absent. You just turned on the computer and walked away. That's not being present. Is there a particular PowerPoint you're referring to, Alyssa? Okay. Let me pull that up and I'll show you. I think you have to click on the object itself. Let me pull that one up. Give me 1 minute to pull that up and then I'll show you how to do that. Let me first come back to. Um, Okay, with the mystery of the bones. Um, if you just click on the objects, you can move them from side to side. It's like mine is already put together, so I don't have to but as you click on it, it creates a box, and then you can move them from side to side so you can create the skeleton that way. With the measuring the pelvis, you can either click on the pelvis and move it over. You can actually rotate it so that you can kind of get it like that. With the bone, you can do the same thing with the bone. You click on the bone and hold it to the um, ruler, and you can look at that, and then you calculate with that one. What else was on there that yeah. So if you had something like that, you just click on the object and drag it. And with these, you just sometimes you have to rotate them to get them to be straight, especially with the arms and legs. Okay. So Alyssa, did that help? Is that what you needed to know? You should open I think you can open it in your Google Slides. And I guess you could use your rotating thingy on your Chromebook. And then all you have to do is get your pointer to get to the object. And then if you click on it, you should get that little box around it. And then you can just drag it to where it needs to go. Did that help, Alyssa? Also, I had a couple of people. This box sounded after you've completed all of that information on all those other slides, you need to put okay. And it, putting the skeleton together is nice, but it doesn't necessarily um, help you. It's just nice. But the important slides that you need to fill out are the skull and all of that. It could be that's the information that has to go on this chart. So at the end of the day, the important part, the really important part is that you get this chart filled in with your information, and then you're comparing your information to the information that they gave you. So that therefore you can, sorry, hold on. All right. Based on your information up here, you decide, you match your information with this information at the bottom, and you decide who is skeleton 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you have to answer those questions, and then you have to answer based on yours. Is it 1, 2, 3, or 4 down here for them as well, or A, B, C? This was A, B, C, D. And so I need the analysis questions more than I need you to put that skeleton together. All right. You sure? All right, because ask a question. Ask a question. Somebody just came. Kenzie, you just came. Let me go back to what everybody else is doing. You are starting with, oops, down here. You are starting with, and anybody else who came in late. Okay, I'm gonna have to stop sharing. See if I can do this a different way. Okay, there. Share that. All right, anybody else who came in late, we're reviewing for the test next Thursday. You want to start with forensic science overview. You want to make sure that you can answer these 3 questions. And again, I'm not concerned. Number 1, yes, as far as key terms, not worried so much about 2 through 7. So start from 8, 9, 10, and so on going down. Those things you need to know. So spend some time with that. Go through, because this first introductory unit is important. So go through and again, don't worry about the history so much as why do we do forensic science? So don't worry about that timeline. Um, you do need to know the ruling. That's important. Know the difference between deductive and inductive reasoning. There won't be a whole series of questions on that. For example, there'll be an example and it'll ask you, is this deductive reasoning or inductive reasoning? That kind of thing. Um, yes, ma'am, I will do that. All right. All right. So again, as you go through use the, in all of the modules, use the essential questions as your study guide. Make sure you can answer those questions. All right, Kenzie, that is taken care of. Know the difference at a crime scene between physical and trace evidence. Okay. Again, if you have any outstanding work, you should be working on that as well. A late grade is better than no grade. Good morning. Okay. Oops. Oh, oops, that was for somebody else. It moved before I could answer. All right, give me 1 second. Okay. Okay. Good morning, Xavier. Okay. Before I share, let me make sure I change your attendance. Okay. All right, Xavier. Um, okay. All right. Xavier, is there anything that you are missing that you need me to help you with? What we're doing right now is looking at, let me get my screen back to the class. Here we go. All right. All right. So for those who are testing, because I see you're finished testing, what you need to be doing is coming back to the module. All right, and you want to start at the beginning. So we're going to do everything from the beginning to entomologies. So since we tested entomology yesterday, we're not going to have but maybe one or two questions about that. But what I want you to do, want you to look at are the essential questions at the beginning of each module that we've completed and make sure that you can answer those questions. These three questions here are important, so there'll be um, several questions on that. Do not focus on these scientists, but do start from question vocab key terms 8 um, 8 through 22. So focus on those. Uh, Not so much all of the branches. So definitely 8, 9, 10. You want to make sure that you do that. Okay. Um, All right, and again, I see some of you are working on past assignments. Ask questions, ask if I can help. Please ask, please ask, please ask. And I didn't mean to do that, so I don't need to be sharing that. Apologies. All right, Caitlin, are you there? Okay, okay. Okay, gotcha. All righty. Thank you for letting me know. Why did it not? All right, so again, I have to send out parent letters today. So if you got something missing, now's a good time to make it disappear so that I'm looking at a passing grade. I got quite a few people who still have forensic entomology activity outstanding. Please take a look at that. That's quite a large set of points. That would help tremendously if you could get that figured out. Okay, folks.